President Trump sparked controversy during a visit to the Federal Reserve, publicly clashing with Fed Chair Jerome Powell over claimed renovation costs. Trump suggested $3.1 billion in expenses, which Powell dismissed as inaccurate and inclusive of separate buildings, highlighting tensions over political pressure versus central bank independence. Amid ongoing disputes over immigration policy, a federal appeals court reaffirmed its ruling that Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship is unconstitutional, complicating efforts to enforce the policy. Meanwhile, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee narrowly approved Trump's nominee for UN Ambassador Mike Waltz by a 12-10 vote. Support crossed party lines after Democrats secured disaster aid pledges for Haiti and Nigeria. The nomination proceeds to a full Senate vote later today. Economic sentiment is also influencing political dynamics. A Wall Street Journal poll found Trump's job approval steady at 46%, buoyed by improved perceptions of the U.S. economy. 47% of respondents rated it good or excellent, up 11 points since April. However, controversies over tariffs, inflation, and the Epstein investigation persist. Federal economists remain concerned about political interference in monetary policy. A Reuters poll showed over 70% believe the Fed's independence is under threat, particularly through pressure on Powell and divergence from Trump appointees like Michelle Bowman and Chris Waller. Despite this, all 105 economists expect rates to stay unchanged until late July. Jobless claims unexpectedly fell to a 3-month low of 217,000 for the week ending July 19th. Continuing claims rose slightly to 1.955 million, suggesting some prolonged unemployment amid cautious rehiring. The labor market remains steady, giving the Fed little reason to cut rates immediately. Federal layoffs continue at scale. Over 275,000 federal employees lost jobs or were targeted. Through the Department of Government Efficiency, an initiative led by Elon Musk aimed at slashing government spending. The Supreme Court allowed these massive reductions to proceed, redefining civil service protections. Global and market highlights. Oil prices ticked up, with Brent crude nearing $69.35 per barrel, driven by US-EU trade, optimism, Russian gasoline export cuts, and a larger-than-expected 3.2 million barrel drop in U.S. inventories. Global markets cooled off after a busy week of trade deals, but overall sentiment remains cautiously positive ahead of central bank meetings. From the Fed, BOJ, and ECB, plus upcoming tech earnings from Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft. Internationally, the U.S. plans to resume trade talks with China in Stockholm this week to head off increasing tariffs. In recent corporate news, Reuters revealed an Indian firm exported $1.4 million worth of HMX explosives to Russia last December, despite U.S. warnings. HMX is used in advanced munitions, raising geopolitical concerns. Political shifts in Myanmar followed Trump-era policy reversals. The U.S. lifted sanctions on companies and individuals tied to Myanmar's military junta, shortly after General Min Aung Hlaing praised Trump. Human rights groups condemned the move. European diplomatic relations remained tense during the EU-China summit in Beijing. Xi Jinping urged Europe to make correct strategic choices amid global economic pressures, while EU officials emphasized cooperation on climate and governance.